Okay, hey guys, welcome to another one of my Rome Total War 2 commentary battles. I am playing as the Ptolemy. That's the faction that represents sort of Hellenic Egypt, as it were. And I'm up against Epirus. So, what have I brought? I've brought 4 Egyptian slingers, unupgraded, 3 units of Hellenic Royal Guard, and these are these guys here, with a chevron each, and they're sort of set up in a thick blocks, the original thick blocks they sort of originally deploy in. I've got 2 units of thorax pikemen on the wing, right wing, which are sort of slanted backwards. On the left wing I have 2 units of Thuros spears, and 2 units of citizen cavalry. The Thuros spears have 2 chevrons of experience, and the 2 units of citizen cavalry have a chevron of experience each. Finally I have 3 units of royal peltasts in the middle, with the central one being my general. And finally I have a unit of skirmisher cav, who is currently chasing his skirmisher cav around the map as well, which is kind of fun. You know, you got to bring some units with cool hats, so let's have a quick look at them here. They do look cool. Really cool. Anyway. Right, so we're playing on this Alexandria map. My opponent is playing Epirus. He's brought 2 units of mercenary Cretan archers, a unit of peltasts, a unit of slingers. He's got 2 units of mercenary Italian spearmen. I'm not sure what they are for. They seem to be just, well, I'll show you later, but he's got 2 units of Hellenic Royal Guard who are on the flanks of his front line, and then 2 units of pikemen that are in the middle. He has, I think, like maybe 4 units of hoplites, which are here. And then hidden around he's got the skirmisher cav, and then he's got 2 Aspis companion cavalry, 1 Hellenic Royal Guard, that's shock cavalry, and a unit of mercenary Italian cavalry. So for the most part we're just setting up the battle lines, as it were. As you can see, my formation is slightly wider. I've started choosing to sort of play with a style of our front row of pikes or original strong infantry, and then to put gaps in between them, and then those gaps are filled by I try to fill with sort of swordsmen or heavy hoplites, something that can sort of, they look so cool. They're just ridiculously cool, the royal peltasts, but they're a little OP at the moment. Like 69 melee attack. I mean, if we compare that to my it's just 69 melee attack, weapon damage 55, charge bonus 24, great morale. And they do quite a bit of damage if they manage to throw some spears off at you first as well. I'm not sure why they're called royal peltasts, because they don't act like peltasts. They're not skirmishers, because they just you just throw your spears and then you charge into them. If you compare that to like these mercenary Italian spearmen, they've got melee defense of 27. They're not like great. I mean, even like Hellenic Royal Guard are, they've got melee defense 61. I don't know how that compares to a royal pike unit. Royal peltast. They've got 50. That's pretty high for a swordsman. Very heavy melee infantry, so they're not skirmishers at all. I'm not sure why they're called peltasts. Macedon and Ptolemaic factions. The Ptolemy have access to these royal peltasts, and they are kick ass. But anyway, so I've got about, I've got 6 upgraded. Well, no, sorry, it's not 6 upgraded. 3 upgraded elite units and 3 elite units here, and then the rest are sort of filled out. The ranks are filled out with more sort of medium to low end. I mean, the cavalry is only medium, these pikemen are really only medium, the spears are only medium, and the slingers are as cheap as you get, dirt slingers. And on that note, the missile duel has just started in this mid position here, with the Cretans fighting off against my slingers. I've hit the quick reload button to start off with, just to see if I can get as much of an advantage here as possible, and I do have a slight bit of range on him because of his lack of... He has 3 like missile units, these slingers, and 2 mercenary Cretans, and then he's got also some peltasts, but that's 3 sort of pure missile, and then 1 unit of peltasts and skirmishers, I would call them. But anyway, I've completely decimated this unit already, and they're routing. And he's returning fire, so we're just doing a bit of skirmishing. These Egyptian slingers don't have the morale, Cretans do though, so when they take damage they tend to hurt a little bit more. I start moving forward my phalanxes, and he moves his mercenary Italian cavalry and his Aspis companion cavalry, I think, to this wing to try, because he saw my citizen cavalry come here. I'm just trying to get these Thuros spears straight up. I know I can win a heads-up infantry fight, or I think I can, so I'm kind of very eager to start that up. Now, what I don't notice is he starts firing at this Hellenic Royal Guards unit, and they don't stop. They just take actually quite a bit of damage from the front. I mean, you have to focus like 4 melee units at them, and even then, they're not really taking too much. They like lose maybe 30-odd men on the advance. But that is mercenary Cretan archers, slingers, and peltasts being thrown in. Anyway, so he sort of sets up in this sort of one line of thick pikes with us, one thin line of pikes of 4 men, 4 units, sort of putting a, what was it, about, yeah, 4 men deep. And then he's got in front of them a 2 men deep unit sort of line of mercenary Italians. Now I can see why you can do this actually. It's really kind of, it's a bit glitchy, but I'll show you what happens. But anyway, on this flank I'm moving up my Thuros spears. I've moved my citizen cavalry back just so they don't show up. And I started shooting at his, no. Anyway, I'm just skirmishing. Nothing's happened to his companions or anything, so we're just sort of loading up. Now he's been firing at this unit and they've lost about 40 men. Now what he's doing is he's moving these mercenary Italian units up forward while I move my phalanx swords. That basically coaxes my phalanx to get sort of snagged on these units. So you'll see what I mean. But when they get sort of snagged, it's quite tempting to attack them, and always the phalanx will aim for the centre. It won't just drive into the middle. Sorry, it won't just drive through at the nearest point. You'll see here, my phalanx is turned to fight the centre of this, and it's quite sneaky. Anyway, I'm moving some peltasts, I'm moving some stuff, so I've lined up 1 unit of Royal Peltasts on his left flank, and I've lined up my Thorax pikemen here. I don't actually want to push with these guys because they've lost 40 men, so I don't feel like doing it. These Hellenic Royal Guard, they're taking quite a few casualties, but I get the feeling that I just basically push through these mercenary Italian spearmen. I don't actually want to fight them. Not really. I move my spears up on the left as quickly as possible. I get my Royal Peltast here. I bring up another unit of Royal Peltast because I'm pretty sure I can take these hoplites one-on-one. In fact, I am deadly sure. And as you can see, it sort of messes up my pikes here. Start like sort of attacking different at angles. It's really a nuisance, but it is actually really, like here, the pike engagement sort of goes diagonal. So I think that's why people keep putting pikes in long, thick lines, because if you aren't careful, it gets a bit messy. Oh, here, Royal Peltasts go to charge into these hoplites, only to get counter-charged by this cavalry. But they're Royal Peltasts and they're not too bothered. The companion cavalry is now in, but that seems a good point for me to throw out my companions, bring in a reserve unit of my general's Royal Peltasts, bring my Thuros spears and get my other citizen cavalry, wiping up some archers at the back. He tries to bring out his mercenary Italian cavalry and companions. And, I mean, they're doing okay, but they just took so much damage pulling out of that unit. That's the thing with cavalry, they will take so much damage. On this side, I've engaged his right flank of hoplites with my Thorax pikemen, and they're chewing through because his men are doing nothing to react. I'm beginning to just destroy his companion cavalry now because he's thrown them into infantry, and heavy infantry at that. I've got Thuros spears who are going to kind of start moving into the fight in the back as well. I've got some citizen cavalry that are trying to charge this Hellenic Royal Guard. I think it's a bit optimistic, but I kind of want to get to the back. No, I stopped them there for some weird reason. Anyway, I'm winning this flank with the Royal Peltasts quite badly. They're just outclassed, and I've completely wiped out his companion cavalry. He moves his Hellenic Royal Guard into the fray. Now, that's not a good idea to charge into infantry. He is moving around his unit of hoplites here to try and sort of... I don't know what's going on, but anyway, this engagement's going to go my way, with any luck. My Thuros spears are sitting there doing nothing until now, and I start deciding it's time to wrap up the flank. Meanwhile, I've been just throwing out rally calls and stuff to keep them up and going and the morale good. These Thuros spears are now in the centre, just basically being used to plug points. This Hellenic Royal Guards decide to run away just after they win the entire flank for me. Over here, he's sort of doing this thing where it's weird, it's like spreading out, his line's sort of turning. my line's fighting his. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever, his general's caught here with Hellenic Royal Guard. He's got some hoplites and pikemen as well, but essentially it's not achieving him very much. I'm constantly raising the banner and rallying stuff, so this left wing is very much won in my favour, and while my right wing is not doing great, it's not doing badly either. Like, it's losing to these hoplites, but it's actually sort of routing these hoplites, and this wing, these guys are just left sitting there. So I've got these Thor spears just facing off, but I'm like, I don't want to commit because I'm just going to get hurt. So instead, these Hellenic Royal Guard, I'm not sure why they're charging like this, but they charge it. So I think once the phalanx tends to break, it's actually kind of annoying. They sort of break out phalanx automatically, which you never notice and get used to. These Thorax pikemen have done well, so they've routed off this unit, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. These slingers are just thrown into here to just try and soak up, give these guys a bit of a morale boost, but no such luck. My Thuros spears and my are now coming in on this pikeman, and we're rolling up this flank. It's a bit chaotic. Over here, some Royal Peltasts are finishing off some hoplites. Nothing big, but what else is going on? Yeah, my slingers are running, which is sort of to be expected. They're slingers. These Thorax pikemen are going off to face these guys. And over here, I'm really just mopping the rest of his flank. A mix of slingers and my own pikemen generals, even my general's Royal Peltasts are there. He's got some skirmisher cav, which he starts using to try and chase down missiles. But because he's got a few missiles here and he wants to use them, but they're just so they're so destroyed right now that they're actually taking quite a bit of a morale hit anyway. I mean, if you look at them, can't remember what he is. They are sort of looking a bit shaky, and he gets caught up and stuff. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure. I may be wrong, but replay could have been corrupted. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think the replay's been corrupted now. To explain why there were so many standing around units. Although maybe not. Depends what happens here. Because I remember he took some slingers out over here, and I shouldn't have had this much cavalry left. Okay. Well, whatever. Yeah, and these units didn't get charged down by Thorax pikemen. I just left them alone. So yeah, for the majority of that battle, the left wing got broken, and a few more of my cavalry died. I didn't leave so many units just facing off, but it was still the same gist. This is kind of annoying. I do love the look of these guys. It's an annoying thing, this replay problem, but they're going to fix it. I assume they have to fix it because it's kind of pointless if they don't. But not much else happened. I mean, he had a bit of more of a fight maybe going with some more archers, but his skirmisher cavalry were mopping up some slingers over here, but that's about it. The same rough thing happened. So yeah, quite like Ptolemy, and it was nice to see someone who didn't spam out elite units all that much. I think I had 6 elite units, and he had 2 Hellenic Royal Guard, then 3 elite cavalry, and some Cretans. So I guess don't count Cretans, so there was probably about 5 elite units, but he had a bit sort of more variety and a few more cannon fodder troops. Just look at all these cool things. They look so good. But yeah, so there we go. And I'll leave you with this pretty picture of some Cretans defending. Great last stand against these Thorax pikemen. So yeah, stay safe guys.